My name is Guguletu and I'm traveling the African continent in search of entrepreneurs making a difference in their own communities. This is Profit with Purpose. This is what giving back is all about. This is Chivas Win the Right Way. Executives often have a certain air about them, whether through their personalities, a sense of accomplishment, or a sense of power. And oftentimes, this power doesn't come without a source. Kaizen Executive Coaching, based here in Cote d'Ivoire and in London, is founded by the ever-impressive Lynda Aphing-kouassi. Great to engage with you, and thank you so much for making time for us today.
Thank you so much, Gugu.
I must say that since we've touched down in Abidjan, it's been a fantastic journey to explore some parts of Francophone Africa and, of course, getting to know a little bit more about your company, the country that you come from, and, of course, some of your initiatives. But let's start with Lynda. Lynda is the founder of Kaizen.
Yes.
And Kaizen, as we know, is the name of a Japanese leadership style where you try to transform and implement changes little by little to make a larger difference. How did Kaizen come about?
Thank you so much again, and it's a pleasure to have you. I hope you got to see the good side of Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes, merci beaucoup. I've been practicing my French too.
Absolutely, avec plaisir. So, as you said, I'm from Cote d'Ivoire. I had the chance to live abroad, so I was in London for about 17, 18 years, and I decided to create Kaizen. You've explained it, you've already said what it is. It's to make a larger difference, doing it the right way and a smaller portion at a time. And on the continent, we need to make a larger difference. We need to make sure that we empower people, ladies to start with, the youth and the younger generation, to make sure that we have a positive impact and a lasting impact. So that is the reason of me coming back to put pretty much my experience to the mix and assist everybody, all the companies, all the younger generation, all the schools, to get and make that larger difference into our country and the rest of the continent. So that is the initiative and the reason why I've created Kaizen. And you're probably going to be thinking as to why I've called it Kaizen as well.
Exactly.
Because that is a big question that everybody asks, especially if it's Japanese. And I'm from Cote d'Ivoire, Francophone country. But it's good because we know that the Japanese are renowned for discipline. We know that they always go fast. Everything that they do, they go fast. But not only that, they're extremely polite, extremely disciplined, and everything that they do, they learn. And that name to me, Kaizen, it's pretty much two words. So you have Kai and Zen. And it's also a Japanese technique to train and to develop. And it also means discipline and value. And I thought those two words really dignified everybody that we had to put across and make sure that it represented me as a start, to make sure that whatever I was going to sell to those companies and to the people was along these lines, and that's why I chose the country.
Let's talk about that element of discipline, because from what I understand as well, you having grown up in Abidjan,
Yes.
Coming from a family of well-educated individuals, your parents also taught you discipline in a variety of ways. How did that influence and shape your life?
Oh, absolutely. My mom and dad did a tremendous job, and to this day I don't even know how they managed. They did a very good job. My mom was a banker, so that could probably explain the choice that I made later on in life.
In investment banking?
Exactly. And my dad was an HR director. HR already means dealing with people and managing people, and I think he brought those methods at home as well. So we were taught in a very, very rigorous and disciplined manner. But what I've remembered the most is that we had everything that we could possibly want, but we were not actually given it. Wow. We had to earn it. So you had to demonstrate that you knew the value of what you had before you had it. And we understood that being envious was not an option in our lives. And we had to work for everything that we wanted, because as my dad used to say, I've earned my living. You have to go away and then earn yours too. So do yours, I'll do mine. And I remember him going and getting into his car with his driver, going to work, and us having to walk to school. Wow. And he's literally waving goodbye. But those at the time when we're seeing it, I was, oh my God, he's so mean. He's not even helping us. We're walking to school. Mind you, the school was about 10 minutes walk. And I thought, okay, he's abandoning us and he's going in his car. But no, today I see the importance of it. What he was telling us was you need to know the value of everything that you're going to get. So the minute you walk to school and you can see somebody in the car, you're going to want to have this car.
I want us to venture into the opportunities that you had within the private sector. I mean, you left Cote d'Ivoire, were given the opportunity to study in the UK, which must have been different because of the language barrier and you not actually liking English to begin with. But of course, you advanced within that particular role and position, but something must have changed to help you realize that you actually have more entrepreneurial ambitions instead of just being in a corporate, comfortable job.
Yes, it is true. The corporate environment is brilliant. I mean, you get that safety, that security. We call it the cushion cover. Yeah. We're very safe. We feel like there's nothing. Come the 31st of the month, you have something in your bank account, no matter what it is. You have something, and it's down to you to manage it as well as you possibly can. And I came back here on holiday, and I said to my dad, I want to come back home and work in a bank here. And my dad said to me, there is no way you can come here and work for anybody. I know your state of mind. I know the sort of person that you are. You cannot, because you always want to make changes. You always want to make a difference. And if you work for a corporate environment, it is not going to work. Even where you are right now, I can see that the reason why you're thinking of going abroad or returning home is because you want to change. You want to see the impact that you're going to make. So think about it carefully. Stay in your environment and keep thinking.
Wow.
So I went back to London, and I had a team at the time. So obviously I was helping as far as the training of the newcomers was about. And I kept on training, and I could see that when you train them, you get that excitement when they're happy and they understand. You know, when you say to somebody, that's that, and they found the answer, and you see the joy, and you can feel it. And I thought, oh, that's very interesting.
The voila moment.
Absolutely.
Now, the advertising and billboards game is a tough one. It's far from easy going. It takes a very strong and specific type of gentleman to run a media company that specializes in school billboards and advertising.
So I see what
We
happens.
popped into Kheti's home to pay a visit and chat about his personal likes.
It took about 24 hours for the transaction to be done, and I realized that the service was slower than what I was used to in the UK, and I thought, this is where I'm going to start.
That clearly indicates just how much of a risk you certainly took, not only leaving your job and, as you say, the comfortable cushion buffer, but of course trying to share your vision and your goal with someone else, which sometimes can be challenging because whilst you want to make a difference in society, other people might not see that objective or actually understand that vision. How did you share that and communicate that with the right people to make sure that you could establish Kaizen and of course grow your entity to what it is now in order to make that kind of impact and really win the right way by paying it forward?
True. If I've learned something in London is that you speaking up your mind in the right manner always pays. So you need to make sure that you approach people in the right manner and see what their expectations are, and then make sure that you give them their expectations in terms of what you want to do, because it helps you to shape up your business too. So if I know what you're looking for, I can help you shape it off, because I become the agent of change. I am that agent of change. And in order for that change to happen and for us to win together, I need to know what you want. But when I know what you want, I also need to take you to the place where you don't even know where you want to go, but I'll take you there because you've already made the first step. So it's about sharing the vision, regardless of what the comments are going to be, because we are not big risk takers. We tend to just make sure that we're safe.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you have a family, you want to be safe because you don't know what's going to happen. So we're not big risk takers in essence, but it's how you convert that. Okay, you're not a risk taker, but you can probably just make a difference by doing this. How about we just split your timetable and we help you do this? Okay, you've never heard of me before, I know, but I can assist you with my background and my knowledge, develop these people. Give me just one, and then we'll see what happens. If you're not satisfied, just as we do, you can have it. It's just like when you go into a shopping mall. What do? The makeup artists, when you go into a shopping mall and there's also, they're making you sample the drinks.
Yeah.
You go around, you sample, you've never tasted anything. What happened? They give it to you for free. And then you taste it, and then you stop. How much is that? Then you get the price, and you check in your pocket, even if you don't even have that money in your purse. But that taste was pretty good.
That is naturally a motivator, but of course you're also a female. And as we know, when it comes to the continent and globally as well, there's a lack of female representation in entrepreneurship, in corporate society, and of course in society where there's a certain amount of respect and economic contribution that is favored towards women. How did you manage to conquer some of these challenges, given that you're not only working in Abidjan only, but also in London, where those challenges regarding female equality or inequality still exist?
I forget about it. I totally do, because we have a tendency of just staying focused on what is not really the focus. There is equality that exists, inequality that exists, sorry. We know that. The way we change it is by trying to become agents of change. What do? We are bold for change. Therefore, we approach, we suggest. If we're not heard, we make those changes ourselves. So for example, in the company, if I go and speak to a company and I've asked for a training session to be done, I always verify the number of participants I'm going to have onto the list and the parity that I'm going to have. And if I don't have enough women on that training session, I suggest. And sometimes I impose. And I say we need ladies, because a company cannot work without any female. And the way you impose is by doing it the right way, as I said earlier on. How do you make sure that people just embrace your ideas? Is by knowing what they really want. What do they want? Productivity, gain, being really known for whatever they're doing. So we position it to them exactly like that. We give them the challenges that they're going to have, and we also give them the talent of female in a company.
Let's talk about the intelligence of the stomach and the politics of the stomach. Because whilst you look to make a physical change and an impact within society for shared success, you're also running an enterprise here which needs to make some kind of profit. Because unfortunately we all need to get by due to politics of the stomach. When it comes to Kaizen and of course its operations in London and here in Abidjan, do you describe yourself as being successful?
No. I won't describe myself as being successful. I describe myself as being excellent, brilliant, tremendously successful. I could see your face.
I like that.
Just tremendously successful for even I've taken that jump. So the minute I've taken that jump, I am already successful. It's not all about the money. We need to be profitable. To be profitable, you need to be trusted. You need to have a client base. They need to know you. They need to see you and feel like they can understand. They're feeling what you're saying. Your enthusiasm is literally palpable, as we say. And I love what I do. So the people that I meet...
Trust me, we can tell.
So the people that I meet always, they can obviously just look at me and they're like, we feel that what you're saying is true. We trust you. Therefore, I build that success on the trust.
So what is life like here in Abidjan and Babi, because it seems very busy. We are in the middle of traffic and a vibrant kind of business lifestyle as well that we see.
Yes, it's very busy. There's a lot happening. There's a lot to do here. Few places are opening. I mean, you can sense that the investors are coming back. You can sense that the country is moving. You can sense that it's the time to be here. Not only is there a lot to do for families, but there's a lot to do for businesses, and there's a lot to do to make it happen. So for my kind of business, the change is, now is the time to be on the train. So we're jumping on the bandwagon because everybody's coming, they're doing something new. They want to make a difference, so we all just assist, help, collaborate, and it's good. It's a good place to be in as far as restaurants are concerned. We have the best of both worlds. So should you need anything that's European, you can find it. We're in the area actually where you can find it, because right now we're in Pietri. If you need anything that's going to be local, you're going to go to another side, and then we're heading to Riviera, which is
very multicultural as well.
Multicultural, you have everything.
How do you strike a balance within your personal life of literally being rooted in 2 cities and 2 continents, which isn't easy?
Yes, I did say earlier on that I wanted to become a pilot, so I think I'm going to settle for the bed on the plane. It's tricky, but I'm very fortunate. I've got a very good support system. My mum is hand on deck. She's very supportive. Staying in London whenever I needed to be in Abidjan. In Abidjan, whenever I need to go to London, I have also a family support here that's going to sometimes come and check out the house, see what's happening, see what I need, how long I'm going to be in the country for, and what else I'm going to be needing, basically. So I'll say that I'm managing pretty well because I've got a strong support system, which is just made essentially of family members. So that's helpful. It takes a toll because you've got to prepare for everything that you've got to do. You've got to prepare for everybody that you've got to meet, and you've got to make sure that everything is ready on time. But I see it as providing that you have a bed to put your head on, you're fine. And the life of an entrepreneur is not the life of luxury. It's a life of working hard. It's a life of making things happen.
There's something so critical, though, that you mentioned about family and support. You
yes.
have support in London, you have support here in Abidjan, and even making our way here to your home, you were discussing the new bridges that were built in
yes.
order to allow for easier access and support to be provided for the easy move of individuals and goods between the city of Abidjan. How critical has that support been for you, and how do you continue to do that within your entrepreneurial space, where you've got the support of other entrepreneurs and other stakeholders and people, you know, in the business
yes.
networks to help Kaizen grow?
As entrepreneur here, we're building that network together. So what we're trying to do, I think the influencers here in Côte d'Ivoire really built something for us. So they created a platform, digitally speaking, and we also organize cocktails, and we have a lot of business connection happening where we have a lot of entrepreneurs coming, a lot of people that want to learn, a lot of people that want to know what's happening and what part they can play. Therefore, we are getting to develop our country in a better way that we know, which is communicating, discussing options, discussing ways of making it better. And that goes through something that's called here business connection. You also have certain meetings that a couple of weeks ago we had a lady that organized a negotiation course here, and she did it on a cocktail basis, and she invited people to come around, and you have other coaches that will come close to you, talk to you, and try and see how you can partner up to make sure that you have the same objective anyway, so to make sure that you develop the country as best as we can. And we're ever so proud. I was saying that we don't know the beautiful country that we have, the beauties that we have, until someone else comes and say, oh, actually, it's very nice. And we're like, oh, really? I never noticed it. But it's because we're there and we're seeing it every single day. So we tend to think that the work that we're doing is not really going far.
Yeah.
But when you move across the border and then you come back, then you know that you're making a very big difference. And entrepreneurs here are developing. And the country as well is developing a section just made for entrepreneurs. The tax system is being made or adjusted in order for it to allow more entrepreneurs to go into the market.
So what's the compass and vision for you personally when you sit alone with your own thoughts and try to make sure that you're on the right track with regard to your growth, your development, and the impact that you'd like to make on society?
I always think that I want people to remember me for that bubbly person that just brings joy as she enters, that says it as it is so you can change, and that also shows you the path to change. So when I think of me in that manner, every day it's a constant work on myself, it's a constant effort, it's a constant development to make sure that people will remember me as that. And then when people will talk to my general or my child, they can say, yes, you had somebody that really, really thought about everybody else and was trying to make a difference. I can't say make the world a better place because it's going to sound like all those Miss World contests. But what I'm trying to say is, how do you really impact your environment as a start, and then the environment of others, and then everybody else around? And to me, that's the most important part. So I tend to forget myself sometimes. And my friends are keeping me on the ground, reminding me, you need to sleep, you need to eat, you need to go out, you need to do certain things, you need to travel for holidays, not travel for work. You need to remember that we have a girl night out, we have some chats sometimes. And I'm fortunate I've kept my childhood friends. So my friend, as I call my sister, we met when we were 8. She lives in France today, and we are just in contact every single day. So when I think that things are not going the right way, I can just say hello at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And she's there.
Lynda, we are in your fabulous office space here in Abidjan, where you have the Kaizen offices, and you've literally just come from a session as well, so we've seen you in action and really showing us how it is that you do what you do. What really strikes me about your team is that, like you've alluded to, is that they're really a strong support system. How do you identify the talent in the individuals that help you with Kaizen?
Thank you very much. We try. It's a training company. So what we do, we basically just give the opportunity to everybody. And the people that we have here, we've actually trained them ourselves. Wow. So they came, for example, one of the lady, Lynda, and she was at the Canadian University. So she finished her degree. She's 22. Wow. She finished her master's degree and she was looking for a position. She started working in a very big firm here in Côte d'Ivoire. And then I saw her CV on LinkedIn, contacted her, and I've offered her obviously the opportunity to be trained. And she loved that because she knew that she was in an environment where she would potentially grow when she wouldn't really know how far she will be getting to. She doesn't actually know. In terms of training, she doesn't know what she's going to be getting, and she doesn't know how she's going to be able to see the world in a different way. So when we spoke, she was like, I know I want to do the job, but I've never worked into a training firm. I've never organized conferences. I've never even worked with a coach before. And I said, well, the beauty of it all is that I train the people that I work with, so that when I'm not around, the people can do the job. And then I know that I've already passed the experience, and then you can also pass the experience around you. And what do we do that we do best is making sure that we share knowledge. Yeah. And we make people really great, talented, and happy, and have that trust in themselves in order to just conquer the world, so to speak.
How would you describe your leadership skill and how you lead within the structure of Kaizen while still allowing an opportunity for your staff members to have that open door communication with you?
I am the leader because they're allowing me to be a leader.
Ah.
Yes, and that's what we tend to forget. The leader just lacks that humility. He forgets that he's where he is because of other people. And I always remember this, because without them, I am just me. I'm not the leader of anything. So what we do, we just make sure that we have a very open and trustworthy relationship. I don't keep what I have to say to them. I make sure that I push them as much as I can. I make sure that I get to know them as best as I possibly can. So I think some of them will call me the charismatic leader, because whenever I come and speak to them, I'm always without any papers, without any computers, without anything really, and I'm just starting to talk to them. Like, how do you remember all these things? And I say, I don't actually remember anything. I just know what I have to say according to the question, the first question that I've asked you, and the answer that you've given me. That's how I know what I need to ask you after that.
Exactly.
So I don't have to write anything on a piece of paper. But I need to give you the opportunity to come and talk to me, to know that you can approach me, to know that you can tell me where I went wrong myself, because otherwise I will just keep in my ways, which may not be good, and I'm just going to carry on, and that's not the best way to develop, because we've all experienced poor leadership.
How do you deal with that dynamic that you are training these individuals, empowering them, and yet they might leave you?
It is going to happen one way or another. I left the company. I mean, I was at a point with my manager, my first interview to work at a bank, we didn't do anything. We talked about the Lion King, and I still left him at the end. So it's going to happen, although we had that banter, we had that friendship. But I would be happy for them to go, and I would know that I've trained some people, I've worked with some people that just gain and learn something to go and develop, either corporate or to develop themselves, become entrepreneurs if that's what they want to do in the future. But I know that they've given me the best when they were there. And it's getting that best whilst they're there. Should they move on, which is bound to happen, I would be happy to have contributed one little bit into the actual changes, into the life development. That's the good thing.
And that speaks to the ethos and the logo and slogan of Kaizen.
That is, we have to carry on and continue into being the best.
When you take a look at the future Africa that you hope to create, and how it changes people, regardless of the political changes we see here in Côte d'Ivoire and the challenges in Kenya or South Africa, everywhere. How do you hope that Kaizen will change people and people of Africa to create a better generation and better future for future generations to come?
it was amazing to see these kids in the class and the hope that they have for a better Africa, for them to become presidents. I mean, it was amazing to hear them wanting to become president, ministers and everything else. It shows hope, it shows desire to make a difference, it shows desire to make an impact. And the way Kaizen works is, as part of our CSR mission, we make sure that we give them this training, we give them the value of people. It is important. We can close off the gap if we have people at the back of our minds. We are in a society today where we're very dictated by money. And what I was talking to the people yesterday, and what we talk about to everybody every single day, is that yes, we need money. But money is made to bring us together. It is not made to destroy us. It is not made to just destroy everything that we've done, because if we have a political issue and then we go and break everything else, we need the money to rebuild it. So what have we done? We literally just broke off our roots. We broke everything, a memory, because it may well be a building that stood for something. It may be an edifice that just had a story, and that's what we do. We destroy everything that is about our history. And we need the people to understand that money is not all about money. People will say, oh, who are you to say that? Because you've got a company, you're doing something, you're doing pretty well, so what exactly are you saying? But I'm doing well because I don't have money at the back of my mind. And I was explaining to the kids yesterday that I did work free. I did work free, simply because I wanted that change to be at the back of people's mind. And we need to understand this. It's not because I come from a well-educated background that I can afford this. No, I can't. Just like everybody else, I have bills to pay. We all have different issues, but we need to understand that we're different, and differences are good because they help us grow. We learn from everybody else, but money is not the essence of our lives.
What's next for you in the next chapter of Lynda as an entrepreneur, and of course it's for Kaizen?
Yes, we are looking to expand across Africa. So we're looking to make sure that everything that we do is done in various places in Africa. So for our conferences, for example, we touch on different countries in Africa. We were in Cape Town actually a couple of years ago.
Oh, fantastic.
So we are making sure that we go across. By going, we take with us investors, people, panelists, speakers. Certain people have never been into these countries. So we're showing them the beauty of Africa. We're making sure that they know that it's a country that exists on the map. And then tomorrow they can come back. If they come back, what does it mean? It means an income for the country, development for the country, employment for the people in the country, happiness, it means success. So that's what we're trying to do. And we have several countries in mind that we're going to be going through for the next months or so. So I'm going to be again on the road, as I call it. But as long as we're fit enough and we have people that are there and want to hear from us, even if they don't want to hear from us, we still knock, we'll be there. And we're going to go across the continent.
Conquering the continent, and of course making sure that there's shared success.
Absolutely.
We wish you nothing but the best, Lynda. It's been a pleasure interacting with you. And from me and the team to you and the rest of Kaizen, we'd like to say onwards and upwards.
Thank you.
Fantastic.